Trenders, hello and welcome to Trendz Travel. Today we find ourselves in Modderfontein at a beautiful place called Gratitude. We also find ourselves smack bang in the middle of 16 days of activism. And for those who don't know, it is actually an international campaign to combat gender-based violence against women and children. So now, while in the middle of all your Christmas cheer and your Christmas decorations, do take a moment out to be mindful of those who have been hurt at the hands of others.
Chocolate lovers, this one is for you.
We are launching for first time ever in Africa pop-up store, that allows consumers or people to express their creativity and create their own break.
The festive season is officially in full swing, ushering in the time for giving and sharing. Why not spoil your loved ones with some decadent treats where you can explore your creative side by personalizing your chocolatey gifts?
So what are we doing today? So take us through, how do you create your own break?
Yeah, so we're going to make our perfect break today. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to use our white chocolate and milk chocolate break as a base.
I chose white.
You chose white, I chose milk.
Okay, cool.
And then we're going to choose from our toppings and see which toppings would work best as flavor combinations.
Okay, cool. Let's start with yours.
Okay.
So I see, cool. So then I'll do.
Then you'll do yours, great.
So yeah, what are you making? So
I'm going to use some trends that are happening in food at the moment.
Okay, cool.
We're going to use these strawberry crisp pearls over here. Right. They are actually, these are strawberry, but the color reminds me of ruby chocolate.
Yes.
Now, ruby chocolate was one of the biggest food trends of 2018. Okay. Discovered last year, it is a naturally pink chocolate.
Oh.
So no coloring, nothing at all. So I thought that's a nice little nod to ruby as a chocolate.
Yes.
They actually will be doing a ruby break, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
All right, okay.
So we're going to use that to start.
All right.
And we're just going to kind of sprinkle them all over the break.
Nice.
Yeah. Just kind of get a nice little spread so that you get a bit in every bite.
It's in every bite.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Not too much, just enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we're going to go with, I think, some nuts. Yeah, savory desserts have really been a big thing in the food industry this year, especially I think when it comes to tasting menus and things like that. Sometimes ending with a really sweet chocolate or something like that lands up being quite a intense way to end a meal. So you see a lot of chefs are moving towards a savory dessert. So let's just sprinkle those over.
Oh, looks yum.
Yeah. And then obviously for Instagram we have to think about aesthetics.
Yes.
So we're going to use it's all about the gram.
Eh?
And we're going to use these white chocolate ribbons, just to give some height to our break. So just individually place a few around.
Yes.
And
so it's basically playing around different flavor,
different textures. So
yes,
I think it's just it's a nice way to get some different flavors coming through, and just also keep in mind texture, because you don't want it to just taste feel the same when you bite into it.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's been a super long year, so I'm looking forward to everything winding down and just enjoying family time and quality time with friends.
Well, what I love about the festive season is being able to catch up with family and friends, and whenever we catch up, the perfect accompaniment to my break is always chocolate.
As we wrap up 2018 and slow down from the rat race, it wouldn't be a bad idea to spoil ourselves and our loved ones with creative, decadent treats.
It's a lot of bad things.
Now we're about to take a short break, but before we do, we'd like to remind you to follow us, tag us, like us on all our social media platforms. That's at Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
We pride ourselves on being impartial as well as independent. On the agenda, we basically break down the stories of the day.
Give the viewer the assurance that we will cover every side of the story.
Tear gas has now been also thrown at the protesters.
We are peacefully marching and the police is stopping the people. They're hitting the people. We are spraying the people with pepper spray. These people are supposed to protect us, but they are against us.
We are pushing them back by using the rubber bullets because we cannot allow them to block the roads and damage other people's property.
quite important to bring on board all sides and hear what everybody has to say about a story, especially being the public broadcaster.
All in all, we basically take the news agenda of the day forward.
The great bank heist. Well, it was brazen. It was quick.
One thought we perhaps looking at figures much, much lower. Right. It's almost 2 billion.
It was shared amongst very greedy VBS executives and politically connected individuals. You are listed in that report. Did you steal money?
The narrative that they're trying to create is proven wrong by Advocate Mtao's report himself. He said in point 59 that he could not find a definitive wrongdoing, anything factually.
The misleading information which Daily Maverick has is deliberate. It's part of the whole propaganda machinery. You can challenge this Polly Van Veil to bring us the so-called evidence that I received 10 million. It's pure insanity.
Is there any prospect whatsoever of saving VBS?
We are not as confident as we were when we started the curatorship as to restoring the bank.
The bank is in a hopeless situation and it cannot be saved.
We are at the forefront of Africa's tech discussion.
We're already planning for the 5G spectrum to be licensed by 2020.
In Mauritius, for fiber migration, we had a strategy. On network, we have gadgets, robots, and more.
We focus on investing in entrepreneurs and technology in emerging markets.
There's technology and social media news on Network with me, Phumelele Zondi, every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and every Sunday at 5:30 p.m.
Welcome back to Trendz Travel. Now coming up next, we take you to the launch of Impak. Impak is a foundation that acts as a stepping stone or launching pad to struggling artists in the country. Let's see how it played out.
The Joburg Theatre hosted the launch of Impak.
So now I'm about to speak to Ausinkeke, who's supposed to know everything about Impak. She is the founder. She knows everything. She's the visionary. Hello, Ausinkeke.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes.
So tell us about Impak.
Okay, Impak is a film and music movement that was formed in 2013 officially. We will be assisting people. Our target is actually people in the rural areas that are talented, that need to get into the music industry, that need to get into film industry. We will be the connector for them into the different places that they need to be connected to. We will be assisting them with any recordings if they need to record their music. If they need writing skills, we will be training them. We've got a composer. Wandile Funani is a composer, is a producer. So we have all these skills that we will be assisting them with for free.
So just tell me why you're doing it.
Wow, I'm very passionate about the arts, and what pains me is there's so much talent in faraway, remote areas, and the fact that those people will never ever get the light of day for whatever reason, be it financial or whatever. I just thought, you know what, let us do it.
Let's speak about the bigger picture. What are you hoping to achieve? What is the big dream?
Well, arts is the answer to poverty. We think if people can just dig into their talents, it will alleviate so much of the problems that we have right now. A lot of people are unemployed and they're sitting with no help where they are. Come, connect with us. We want to just assist where we can, just to elevate your level of existence to one that is manageable, to one that is not so depressing. We want to contribute to this country's growth and bring down unemployment, basically, you know.
Well, there you go. Impak is the gateway to your recognition in the arts.
One aspiring artist from Mtuba was given the platform to do his thing.
Igama lami ngisikhumbuzo Nhlakanipho Malu owaziwa kakhulu ngo-SKZ njengamanje osewusikhalo. Ngifike eGoli July ngizozama impilo engcono. Ngoba ngenza umusic ngiyabhala ngiphinde ngenze ne-acting inelowa emakhaya ne. Ngisuka eMtubatuba eKZN emakhaya kha.
is not confined to one specific genre. It caters for all art mediums. They are encouraging all emerging artists to engage on their platform.
Right now, we take you to Nigeria, where homegrown travel companies are pushing for more Nigerians to explore their own countries in a bid to boost tourism. The people in this group of hikers are Nigerian, and yet many of them had no idea a place like the Ikogosi warm springs existed in their country. Ikogosi is a town in southwestern Nigeria where visitors come to dip their feet in a confluence created by the meeting of warm and cold springs that flow next to each other.
Oh, it's a very exciting experience, particularly because at first you wouldn't think there are this many exciting places here. Yeah, but then when you travel, you realize that, yeah, there are a lot of fun places. So it's a very good experience to see the beauty of the country.
It's one of the attractions that a new cohort of Nigerian tour operators like Social Perfect Tours and TVP Adventures are counting on to lure young, active professionals looking to explore their country. Social Prefect Tours was started in 2015 by social media influence Chiamaka Ntia, who is on a mission to reveal Nigeria's hidden natural treasures. Popular African travel destinations like Kenya, South Africa and Tanzania enjoy government support and promotion. The Nigerian government, however, relies heavily on petroleum exports for its revenues, to the detriment of other potential earners.
You really can't compare Nigeria to other popular African tourist destinations because tourism isn't really a major focus for Nigeria. The difference is like really clear, and where even our neighbors in Benin Republic are doing better in tourism as compared to Nigeria.
But companies like TVP Adventures see their government's oversight as a business opportunity. They use digital media to attract customers and their experience with handling travel logistics to offer all-inclusive packages that have proved popular with well-connected urban thrill seekers. Fain Suina is a French teacher based in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. She recently spent several hours hiking uphill to view and take the obligatory selfie at Ado Awayo, one of the 2 suspended lakes in the world.
The cost of traveling abroad is quite high now, and the moment you do have companies like TVP, ensuring that it's safe for you to travel, there are nice places for you to visit, and the accommodation as well is equally good. I think a lot of people will jump on that bandwagon. There's nothing that is as interesting as knowing your own country, and being proud of what you have.
Nigeria is set to become the 3rd most populous nation in the world by 2050, with around 4 million people. It emerged from its worst recession in a quarter of a century last year and launched a reform program to rebuild its finances.
So I think that there is so much we can do when it comes to tourism, with nature, with our wildlife. We're just not harnessing it as much. But that story is beginning to change with what we're doing at TVP Adventures and what other colleagues in the industry are doing to get people, young people, old people, families, everybody can explore Nigeria, and that's what we're trying to show people. So we believe that in another 5-10 years, the story of what we met tourism to be in Nigeria would be much different.
Nigeria ranked 129th out of 136 economies analyzed in the World Economic Forum's 2017 Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report. Travelers, what are you doing to explore your very own country? Why not send us your pics and videos on Instagram and on Twitter on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
Her commitment was always to the future of our country, our democracy, and South Africa has really lost one of the greatest South Africans of her generation, both amongst men and women. She ranked very, very high in my view. I first got to know her person to person when I first came back from Robben Island. I'd already spent time in jail with her husband, and I found her to be a very outstanding person. She was always available, especially to our people with their problems. I had the privilege, alongside comrades like Popo Molefe, Trevor Manuel, Cheryl Carolas, and others, to serve under her as one of the co-presidents of the United Democratic Front from 1983 onwards. She was our president together with the late Oscar Mpeta and Achigumede. And she was very consistent. She had a lot of history she shared with us. She provided a lot of guidance in those times. And she took serious interest in our families and relatives. Even after the unbanning of the African National Congress, many of us continued to knock at her door, to come to her for advice and so on. Of course, in the latter part of her life, and her health was failing her. We couldn't burden her much now with issues, but I know that her commitment was always to the future of our country, our democracy.
So TB continues to be the top infectious killer worldwide, claiming 4,500 lives a day. It is estimated that approximately 1% of the global population is autistic. So if you're on a medical aid, how well do you understand the benefit structure and how your medical aid generally works? And if you're not on a medical aid, have you considered belonging to one? So how much and what should you know about this condition? Is it curable? Can people living with epilepsy, for instance, play sport, drive cars, get employed? 7 million people around the world die annually as a result of tobacco use.
For Health Tip, catch Health Talk every Saturday from 9 to 10.
It is officially the end of the year, and many stores, malls and homes have already gone full out with their Christmas decorations. And are not to be upstarted, London has already started making their city brighter with their twinkling lights.
Britain's Royal Botanical Gardens in Kew glistened with over 1 million lights as it readied itself for the festive season. Christmas at Kew boasts several twinkling installations running along an almost 2-kilometer trail, from a field of dancing multicolored lights to illuminated trees, glowing origami boats and projections onto the iconic Palm House Victorian glasshouse, complete with festive music. Head of Commercial Enterprises, Adam Farrer, said the event in its 6th year is bigger and better than ever before.
Christmas at Kew is in its 6th year. This year is, of course, bigger and better than ever before. Every year we come up with something new, so this is a fantastic kind of garden of lasers that you can walk through, which is, I think, really, really magical. And then loads and loads of lights, over 1 million lights in total, and the trail just gets kind of bigger and busier, and the music gets better every year as well, so it's wonderful.
Culture creative Zoe Bottrell, the production company behind Christmas at Kew, said that being able to adapt the art to the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, botany and buildings is key.
What I hope is kind of it's a celebration of Christmas, but it's also it's very much an outdoor thing. So it's very much a celebration of nature as well. And as Botanic Garden, obviously, we want people to enjoy the outdoors. And I understand that this is a fantastic living collection here. And one of the experiences that you get is you see the trees in a way in which you never normally see them, and they perhaps stand out more than they do at other times because of the spotlighting and the colour and so on and so forth. So.
It's very much about us taking the built and natural environment for Kew, be it the landscape, the trees, the vistas or the buildings, and creating those installations. But we will also work with a number of international artists and UK-based artists to bring some fantastic work to Kew Gardens to create the trail. I mean, there's a huge amount of infrastructure that goes in to create this, and one of the phrases I use a lot is that we like to hide the magic, and that's difficult when essentially you're creating a trail that's over 1,500 metres long, say nearly 2,000 metres long. We're in a World Heritage Site and Grade 1 listed garden with Grade 1 listed buildings, so all of this must be done in a manner that allows us to ensure the only thing that we've left behind are footprints and memories.
It's playful, but sometimes it's also romantic or reflective, and sometimes you can have a sing-along and you can do things like, you know, make a Christmas wish, you can have a kiss under the mistletoe, mulled wine, mince pies. You know, there's just loads of kind of festive things to do.
Christmas at Kew runs until January the 5th in 2019.
Visitors will be able to spot new kinds of animals this Christmas when attending a London zoo after dark. Creatures that are made out of fairy lights. When ZSL London Zoo's 19,000 animals settle down for the evening, the park comes alive with illuminated sculptures of giraffes, penguins and flamingos.
So at this time of year, our animals are generally tucked up, cosy in bed at this time as the night draws in. And so we wanted to be able to do something that would enable the magic of Christmas to come alive in the zoo, and be able to have people enjoying the zoo in a whole different way that they've never experienced before.
Visitors could catch a glimpse of some nocturnal inhabitants among the gently glimmering lights. But the zoo's chief operating officer, Catherine England, says that many months of planning work has gone in to ensure the zoo's permanent residents are not disturbed.
you know, absolutely it is our priority to make sure the welfare of animals is paramount at all times. So we've worked collectively, planning for many, many months, looking at what was right, everything from the types of light that will be suitable for different animals through to noises. And we've done lots of things to the buildings to make sure that all those animals that are tucked up at night time in their cosy bedrooms are going to remain tucked up and comfortable.
Christmas and the twinkling lights at London Zoo will run until the 1st of January 2019. That's all we have for you in this week's edition of Trendz Travel. Do catch us again next week, same time, same place, and do remember that we are still in the middle of our 16 days of activism, so be mindful of that.
We pride ourselves on being impartial as well as independent. On the agenda, we basically break down the stories of the day.
Give the viewer the assurance that we will cover every side of the story.
Tear gas has now been also thrown at the protesters.
We are peacefully marching and the police is stopping the people, they're hitting the people, spraying the people with pepper spray. These people are supposed to protect us, but they are against us.
We are pushing them back by using the rubber bullets because we cannot allow them to block the roads and damage other people's property.
Quite important to bring on board all sides and hear what everybody has to say about a story, especially being the public broadcaster.
All in all, we basically take the news agenda of the day forward.
This is a space for every woman in South Africa.
I want to speak to the women who cannot walk a kilometer in this country without looking over their shoulders, without being groped or harassed.
I was not born like this. In 2011, I got stabbed by a boyfriend.
How many centimeters? How many centimeters long is the political will to end the scourge of violence against women, against children?
I was locked up in the room for 2 weeks.
There are measures, there are laws, there are policies. But these policies and measures and laws do not speak to these lived realities.
We must fight the culture of gender-based violence.
This is where young men must be taught that women are not their footballs. This is where young men must be taught to respect women.
To be a part of something like this makes me proud, and I think that to be able to report the news in a fair, just, independent and impartial way is what the public broadcaster stands for.